Hi all, welcome. My name is Brenda and welcome to the virtual college exploration for all students sponsored by the College2Career Fairs and Strive Scan. Thank you for joining us. A few announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenter, Josh, at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. There are many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule on the website to sign up for more sessions. And then this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week on the same website if you'd like to go back and review. Okay, now I'm gonna turn it over to our presenter, Josh.
Thanks so much. And I see that we have one attendee, so that's great. Kimberly, thanks for tuning in here. I think this is going to be really interesting. And for anyone watching this later, I guess, yeah, thanks for watching. My name's Josh. I'm with Verto Education, and I've been working in student travel for about 6 years now. I've worked in places like India and Tanzania and about 12 other countries in Asia, all over the world, working with students who are just wanting to experience a different country and culture. And so now with Verto, there's a way for students to do that and to get into college. And so let me share my screen and we'll talk about what it looks like. All right. And Kimberly, feel free to ask any questions in the chat as we go here, and I'll try to do my best to answer them. Okay, so really the idea with Verto is to start college differently. We think one of the best ways to learn is to travel, to get out of your own comfort zone and experience a new way of life, experience a new way of thinking. And it's such a great way to learn. It can build so many different skills. It can show you different things you're interested in. It's such just an amazing experience to start college with. And we want students to be able to do that and know it's counting towards their graduation. So that's why we say start college differently with Verto. So we'll talk about how it works with a step-by-step guide. So what students do with Verto, they apply to us as they would any university. Upon acceptance, they spend their first semester traveling the world, earning 16 credits per semester. They can choose to do a full year or just one semester, totally up to them. So this is the way that I like to frame Verto to students. Well, we're going to talk about our partner universities, but the way to think about Verto is really a direct application to 50 universities across the country. We'll offer a joint admission decision and we'll say, congratulations, you got into Verto and you got into this partner university, so that you know when you're spending your first semester abroad traveling, that you are a part of a specific university. And again, we're going to talk about this in more detail, but I just want to make this clear off the bat. We're not a gap year, so this is going to keep students on their 4-year graduation timeline, but again, allowing them to travel, experience a new part of the world, which is such an amazing experience, and we'll look at some of those shortly. Okay, Kimberly, for you, you don't have to answer these now, but when I talk with students, I really like to get to know them. So think about, just think about some of the emotions you're feeling towards college. Are you scared? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you not sure? Are you kind of indifferent? Think about those. Think about where your passion areas lie. What do you like doing? What are you interested in? And think about a characteristic about yourself that really defines who you are. And think about how those things can play into what I'm about to talk about, because I think they really can. So I wish I could see you and I wish we could speak in person, but we're living in the Zoom world now, so it's all good. Okay, a little bit more of the why we exist and why we do what we do. Here are some of the things that we see. Burnout, students not feeling excited for college because it's just what you do. They're like, yeah, you go to high school and then I graduate and then that's kind of my 4 years. That's not a great reason to do something. So that's something that we also see. Tuition higher than ever in America. It's crazy what we do to students and families in terms of college tuition, going into debt, being reduced to data points. College is only looking at your GPA and your test scores, and a freshman year of checking off boxes. So with Verto, you're not going to just do your orientation finding out where the laundry room is. You're going to be navigating a new country. These are some of the things that we see and what we're trying to change. And there are 3 sort of big pillars to Verto, to what we do. One is the best possible first-year experience. And again, traveling, some of the most incredible, memorable, impactful moments in your life can be had traveling, I think. And I personally experienced that too. Pillar number 2, admission to a reach school. We're going to talk about our partner colleges and how we are getting students into college, which is so exciting. And 3, affordability. We have some really exciting scholarship opportunities that are open this year that are going to increase access to thousands of students across the country to not only travel, to not only get into college, but to better themselves and to just like take their next phase of life to a new level, which is which is something very important to us. Affordability is huge. All right, so what do students do when they're traveling? Where can you go for your first semester of college? Here are the 6 options. We have England, Italy, Spain, and Hawaii, Latin America, or the South Pacific. For our Europe semesters, those are called, or what we call our on-campus semesters. Those are much more independent. Students are free to travel on the weekends if they want, and they're for students who are looking for a really kind of urban experience in a big cultural hub in a European country. Or we have 3 semesters, Hawaii, Latin America, South Pacific, that are much more, I would say, for adventurous students, for students who are wanting that culturally immersive experience, students who want to go to places not known to most tourists. That would be more for Hawaii, Latin America, South Pacific. No matter which semester students choose, they're going to earn 16 college credits per semester. So again, this is helping students graduate and get into college no matter where they go. All right, so we'll talk about on-campus semesters first. This is Madrid in Spain. You can see architecture is a big benefit to being anywhere in Europe, really, but Madrid is a beautiful place. The first option we're going to talk about for your first semester college is London. If a student's interested in business, history, politics, economics, this is a great place to be. What we've tried to do is make the courses relevant to the areas that we are going to. So again, for these subjects with London specifically, it is an incredible place to be. We're going to do visits with guest speakers at businesses. We will go to the British Parliament for a class. All of that kind of experiential hands-on learning, even with our Europe semesters, is still there. For London, students live in a residence hall outside of our study center. They'll go to class on their own. And really, again, they have the freedom to travel as they will. London's a great option. What's cool about this semester actually is it's right next to the University of London campus. So you have access to that student center at the University of London. So you can meet other international students, get involved in clubs and that kind of thing. Really cool semester there. And again, for more independent students, I would say. Similarly, we have a semester in Milan in Italy. If you're somebody who's a visual learner, creative, an artistic person, you have an artist's mind, we're looking at philosophy, development, art history in Milan. And again, like, you know, what better place in the world than Milan for these subjects? This was the birthplace of deep thinking and the birthplace of some really historic art. So you'll get to experience that in Milan. What is unique about Milan this semester is that students actually spend their days taking classes at an Italian university called Università Cattolica, right there in Milan. And actually, this first slide is that picture. I'll go back quickly. Yes, so this is that university you would take classes at in Italy. And they're kind of famous for these big red archways there. And I'm sorry if there are questions coming in. I can't see them right now, but I promise we'll get to them at the end. Okay. So that's Italy, really great semester there. In Madrid, in Spain, same structure as Milan and London, where students are living off campus in residence halls, going to the study center for classes. Spain is great if a student is interested in languages. We'd offer a Spanish course in Madrid, anthropology, economics, and history as well. And I think this is good for students who are not totally sure what they want to major in. You can see how varied the courses are here. And Madrid has so much to offer as a city. Actually, you know, I mean, nobody ever has bad things to say about Spain after going there. Everyone's like, yes, I loved it. But Madrid specifically, somebody described it to me yesterday as if you're looking for this like really cool urban kind of modern environment within a tropical region, Madrid's like one of the best places to be in the world. There are a ton of UNESCO heritage sites around the city where we'll have classes. Even for Spanish class, we'll meet at like the local market on a given day or something like that. So Spain is a great option. And again, really incredible things to be had. And again, for independent students who like to travel on their own, there's so much to branch out and go see from Spain. So those are the on-campus options: London, Milan, Madrid. One thing to keep in mind as well, even though all these semesters have different courses, if you want to travel to, say, London, but you're not going to be a business major, it's okay. Our courses are going to map as general education credits, so it's going to help you graduate really no matter what you're majoring in. We want this to be accessible for everybody. We want this to be something that a student can do no matter what they're looking for. So keep that in mind as well. But we're going to move on to field semesters now, which are really exciting. Same credits, so 16 credits per semester, just like Europe, but these are structured very differently in that students are never in a four-walled classroom. These are for students, again, who are looking to get out and see places that are unknown to a lot of people. So every single day you're traveling around the region, doing hands-on work with local communities, local NGOs, and coming back together as a group taking your courses. That is really how the field semesters are structured. And that context for learning is so deep because everything you're studying is based off of where you are and who you're with. So let's look at those specifically. Okay, so we'll first look at Hawaii, which is our domestic option. And if you see these three courses down here, anthropology, identity, politics, equity, and environmental sciences, the structure of the field semesters is such that each of those courses corresponds with a different location within these regions. So for Hawaii, you'll start on the, I believe it's the east side of the Big Island in Kona, studying anthropology, which means every day you'll be in a base house, which I'll show you, and you'll go off and do community interviews, you'll do ethnographic studies, that kind of thing. And again, you'll come back as a group, and during your downtime, you can head to the beach or just like chill out or do your schoolwork or whatever you're gonna do. That's for 1 month. After you finish that course, you move to the west side of the Big Island to study sociology with different communities and different groups. And then you finish out your semester in Maui studying environmental science. And we do a lot of really cool work with conservation and kind of sustainability. So you get to work with park rangers and do those kind of visits. Hawaii is an incredible place. And this semester, I think, shows people a side of Hawaii that nobody really sees. You think of Hawaii and you kind of go and you like drink pineapple drinks on the beach, and then that's really all you do. But there's a lot more to Hawaii, and we're showing students that. So here are pictures from Hawaii. I mean, you can see it's beautiful. And if you can just imagine that this is really students' classrooms for their first semester or year of college. Yeah, incredible places to see in Hawaii. Fun fact, my mother's from Hawaii, actually, and I never have seen some of these places. I used to go there as a kid all the time. Anyway, that's not important. Yeah, so this is our base house in Hawaii. So in field semesters, this is an example of where you would be staying with your Verto cohort. The cohorts are no more than 25 students with about 4 to 5 professors, faculty, program leaders who travel with you throughout these regions. So beautiful base house. Again, you'll branch out every day and kind of do community visits as needed. You can also head to the Instagram page to see a ton of really cool pictures. Okay. Next field semester, Latin America. So students are going to be in 2 countries. They'll be in Costa Rica and the Dominican Republic. Really incredible coursework here. So global health, development, modern Latin American history. In the past, we've done things like look at clean water accessibility and helped communities with irrigation systems and studied how that affects public health. We've looked at development through an environmental lens and done like sea turtle egg incubation with a local organization. I think what's nicely structured about this semester is that it ends with modern Latin American history in San Jose in Costa Rica. It's a really kind of nice bookend to encapsulate everything you've been doing. Incredible semester here. And again, 2 countries with the opportunity to take Spanish language. So we have students who are coming away from the semester fluent in Spanish, which is always a great skill to have, knowing a second language. Okay. So some pictures from Latin America. Again, a base house. This is our base house in, I believe, the Dominican Republic. So this would be really your home and your classroom for a month. The picture on left here, sea turtles in Costa Rica. They're adorable, as you can see. And if you head to our YouTube page, you can watch some videos of footage that students have shown. And if there's time at the end, I will go back and show some of these. Okay. Last field semester, Fiji, New Zealand, Australia. This is our South Pacific semester, and surprise, shocker, shocker, this is our most popular semester. Students are in 3 countries, Fiji, New Zealand, and Australia, and they're studying anthropology, sociology, and environmental sciences. They'll start in Fiji studying anthropology, living in highland villages with homestays. So during portions of these field semesters, you will be living with local families with another Verto student. And in Fiji, one of the most consistent pieces of feedback we get is that those homestay experiences are the most impactful, the most incredible. If anybody, Kimberly, or if anybody is watching this knows anything about Fiji, it is such a melting pot of culture. You have like South Indian influence, you have Kiwi influence, Australian influence. It's an incredible place to be. And you get to live with a family in this village in the Highlands. It's beautiful. So you study anthropology there. After a month, you head over to New Zealand and you look at sociology. We do work with the Maori groups. We've looked at geothermal energy and kind of energy conservation and how that's viewed through the eyes of different cultural groups. And then students will finish their semester here in Australia looking at environmental sciences, doing species conservation. We do some cool stuff with the Australian Zoo, and we do some coral reef restoration on the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. So here are some pictures. Again, the South Pacific is beautiful. If you like tropical green water, kind of out there, like off the beaten path, this is a great, great semester. And I think we'll have time to show videos at the end, so hang tight on those. But before that, we should definitely talk about our second big pillar, admission to a REACH school, making college more accessible. Again, in the beginning, I talked about students being reduced to data points, tuition being higher than ever. These are things that we really think are wrong with the higher education system in the United States. A lot of it is about how much money a student can give a university. A lot of it is about just 2 data points, your GPA or test scores. Really important to get those as high as you can, absolutely, but that's not a great evaluation of you as a person, as a whole human being, right? We want colleges to start accepting students based off who they are and what they're bringing to the table personally. So what we've done to that point is partner with about 50 universities across the country. Any student can apply to Verto and simultaneously apply to our partner colleges. So let's say that you're interested in those top 2 schools there, William and Mary, University of Oregon. You would not need to apply to those schools directly. You would only need to apply through Verto Education. Our application is free. It's very straightforward. What's the most important thing for us is to get to know students and figure out why they're doing this and what they want to get out of life, really, and what makes them tick and what are they excited about. So if you're interested, again, in those 2 schools, let's say, and your GPA is a little bit lower, your test grades aren't so good as those schools might normally ask for, applying through Verto gives students a much higher shot getting in, and we're seeing this play out all over the country. The reason that we have an advantage in admission to these universities is because these schools know that students who travel end up doing better. They know they add in much more positive ways to their campuses. So when they see a Verto application, they know they're getting a student who's going to have those experiences. And that's why, even if the grades aren't quite there, it's a really, really, really big advantage in admission to these universities. So incredible opportunities there. So I want to talk about the application process a little bit more specifically. Again, students can apply to Verto as they would to any university. They can select from a list which partner schools they'd like to apply to. I can show you that right now. This is a screenshot from our application, and literally you can just tick off which partner schools you'd like to apply to. No matter when a student completes their application, we'll tell them in 2 to 3 weeks which schools they got into. So if you have a transcript, letter of rec, and a writing sample ready to go right now, we can get you an admission decision from any of these universities within 2 to 3 weeks, today or in January, whenever you'd like to apply. There's no deadline. We do have some scholarship deadlines, but in general, there are no deadlines, which is great. And again, this is in line with our mission of accessibility. We're not only looking to partner with the top end William and Mary and Ivy League schools. We want a university that's going to fit every single learning style, every single goal a student has. We have small schools, big schools. I mean, even you look at a school like Naropa there in Colorado, not many people have heard of it. That's because it's the nation leader in mindfulness as a university. It's a really cool school, but very specific. But the idea is that if we have a student coming in with that want and that need, there's a school for them. So that's partner colleges. I hope it makes sense. Again, I'm sorry I can't see questions. I always get questions at this point, but hang on and I'll come back to those. Okay, and again, right, so reach for it. I mean, this is, again, a way for students to get a leg up in admission, to kind of bypass the traditional mindset of higher education and not reducing yourself to your test grades and your SAT scores, because that's not the most important thing about you. Absolutely. Okay, pillar number 3 is affordability. This is huge, and we have some really exciting scholarship opportunities. So we're going to talk about tuition and financial aid through Verto Education, which again, incredibly exciting opportunities right now, which I can't wait to share with you guys. The one thing I'll say before I jump into it is that we do have a tuition just like any college would. But one thing we can say that a college can't is that every single cent of the Verto tuition for our semesters goes towards your student experience. It goes towards these programs in these different countries. Your tuition is not contributing to a multi-million-dollar football coach's salary. It's not going towards the lazy river they're putting in the middle of campus, which that sounds pretty cool, but I don't know if I'd want to pay for that if I was a student. Every single cent a student spends on their Verto semester goes completely towards their experience. And again, that's our pillar number 1, creating the best possible first year experience. How am I doing on time? think I'm okay. I have till 45, right? Anyway, no problem. I will get the signal, so I'm running out of time. Okay, so let's talk about affordability and scholarships. The first thing to know is that the level of support Verto students have from the second they start their application is really great. You'll get to receive counseling from an admissions counselor like myself. I have incredible team members who are all wonderful and just as passionate as I am about traveling. We have people who are just experts on financial aid that can do one-on-ones with students whenever they want, as well as a college counselor who can kind of take you through all of our partner schools and say, hey, Oregon might be a good fit for you, or Mills College in Northern California, that might be a good fit for you. So those skilled people are always available for Verto applicants all the time. Federal aid and FAFSA. Students can fill out their FAFSA as normal, and if, let's say, they're Pell Grant eligible, they can use that award money through Verto. So if you are eligible for federal aid, you can use it on your Verto semester, which is so exciting. And then we have a network of scholarships, which I promise I'm going to talk about. Okay, so first we're going to actually look at the starting tuition per semester. Keep in mind, when students are traveling with Verto, they're not paying their university tuition and Verto tuition, they're only paying Verto tuition. So every one of these semesters, except for England and Italy, all of your housing, all of your meals are included. England and Italy, you have a little kitchenette with your roommates and your Verto peers, and you guys cook on your own. So that's a good skill to have, but meals are not included. But every other semester, meals, housing is included. There's no housing plan or meal plan. So if you look at like Latin America or Spain, even before scholarships, $15,000 per semester with no housing or meal plan is pretty good comparably to what most four-year colleges are offering anyway. That being said, we have one really exciting new scholarship opportunity to talk about first, and that's called our Opportunity Grant. If a student falls under the $125,000 in total household income a year bracket, they will automatically receive a $10,000 grant for Latin America or Hawaii, or a $5,000 grant for Latin America or Hawaii, just based on income. So let's say a student is eligible for that $10,000 grant for Latin America. You can see the income brackets here. That means their tuition, their starting tuition for Latin America is $5,000, including housing and meals. And keep in mind, that's before Pell Grant and federal aid is applied. So right now we have students who are set to pay anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000, including housing and meals for their entire first semester of college. And they're traveling to 2 countries and having one of the most dynamic experiences possible to start out their university experience. So this is a great scholarship opportunity. And it's really, if you fall within these income brackets, it's no question you get this grant. We want this to be accessible. We want as many students to be able to do this as possible. And we don't want it to be limiting based on where you come from and privilege you were born into and things like that. So Opportunity Grant, really exciting. That's available for any student who wants to apply to Verto. All right, the last thing, and I don't know if Kimberly, maybe you're not here anymore. Maybe you are. It's okay if you're not. The last thing I want to share, and this was new actually today that was rolled out. We have an honors program for really high achieving, motivated students. Maybe a student has over 3.5, maybe a student does a ton in their community, maybe a student is coming in with like incredible recommendations from their counselors and teachers. This is an honors program for a full year of Verto, and they'll be diving really deep into things like gender inequality, racism, climate change, and really be responsible for a much more, I would say, rigorous, in-depth 2 semesters abroad. Anywhere from 3 to 5 countries per semester. So we'll look at what those look like, and we'll look at what the program entails right now. So the 2 options for our honors program would be to start in London and end your semester in Latin America, or to start in the South Pacific and end your semester in Latin America. Again, these are for students who are really wanting to dig deep into these issues, wanting to experience as many countries as possible, and really motivated individuals. Some of the things that are going to be incorporated into the Change the World program: honors level courses, incredible opportunities for guest speakers to meet sort of mentors and change makers in the world. They'll do a capstone project, which is great to put on your resume. It's like you'll complete this amazing project at the end of your entire year. One thing that I really like about this is we'll do a guaranteed summer internship for students after their Verto Change the World year. So they spend their first year with Verto in this honors program, same amount of credits, same access to partner schools, but if they want, we'll place them with a really cool internship, most likely in the United States within the field of their choosing. And this is guaranteed for all of our Change the World scholars. So a lot of opportunity there. And then again, in line with our mission, with accessibility, the tuition for the honors program, this is really exciting. Let me get down to it here. Here it is. If a family falls under $65,000 a year in their household income, and their son or daughter or student is eligible for this honors program, they'll receive their entire year in the honors program completely covered, no tuition. This is something that we cannot wait to start talking about with students, especially because it's so important for us that every single student has the chance to do something like this. And if they are worthy of an honors program, if they're that motivated, then they should, their income should not limit them from doing this. If a student earns anywhere from $65,000 to $125,000 per year in their household income, the cost for their full year becomes $15,000, again, including housing and meals. So break that out per semester. That's comparable to most community colleges around the country. And then the scholarship kind of tiers off from there based on income. So in terms of accessibility for motivated students, this is such an exciting opportunity to take your college career to the next level, to start off by taking it to the next level, I should say. So that's the Change the World Scholarship. Oh, I did pull up our Instagram if anybody's interested to see our Instagram. We can just quickly scroll through. There's some cool stuff on there. That's the base house in Hawaii I showed you. I love this picture. This is a Maori community member saying goodbye to one of our students in the traditional way. Trees. Oh, when we announce new partner colleges, we'll put them on Instagram. If a student's not interested in a partner college, they don't have to apply to our partner schools. We'll help them transfer Verto credits to another university. We have students going to different four-year schools. We have students going to community colleges. We have students who maybe aren't even enrolled in a college and are just using Verto as a way to see if college is right for them. It really depends on what you're looking for. But the new partner schools will be announced on Instagram. So yeah, a lot of really beautiful pictures here. And yeah, I can't imagine what it's like to live in a place where you have to watch out for koalas. That's very cool. I haven't seen this picture yet. That's really cool. All right. I don't know, Kimberly, if you're still here. If you are, I'm going to make this full screen. If anyone is watching this right now, you can scan this code, this QR code, and then you can input your name and email, and then I'll personally reach out to you. We can set up a call and talk more about how all this works. So I know this is what most schools do, so we had to kind of get in line. But yeah, take out the phone. If you're 18, if you're in high school, you 1,000% have a phone. So scan this, and then we'll go from there. But I think that is it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see any questions. And I think I'm good on time because we have 45 minutes. There's one question, and Kimberly's still here. Oh, thanks so much for being here, Kimberly. I'm feeling nervous. Everything seems overwhelming with having to complete apps and questions. Kimberly, understandable. It's a lot. There's a lot happening, especially now with this world we live in. What I would suggest, I'll put that QR code thing back up. Scan that. I'll send you an email. Let's have a one-on-one conversation, and I can get to know you and kind of find out what you're looking for. And if you're not looking at Verto, it's okay. I'm happy to kind of guide you in a different way if that's what you need. But I know it's overwhelming. There's a lot of options out there. So I'd love to talk it through with you. So I'm going to pull up this thing one more time for you. Whoops, let me share my screen. Oh, we live the Zoom life, guys, don't we? Okay. So I'm going to pull up this thing. And yeah, Kimberly, if you'd like to scan this and we can have a conversation, I'd love to meet you and just get to know you a little bit. I love these virtual events. It's a great way to get in front of people, but in terms of making actual connections, it's not great. So again, scan this thing and I'll reach out and we can go from there. Cool. Okay, you know what we can do now, if you're interested? We can watch that video and maybe thank you. Oh, you're welcome. That's great. maybe we can watch a video. I don't know how well this is going to come through on this platform, so give me a thumbs up, maybe the moderator or Kimberly, if this is working. But I think it'd be cool to watch this video. Let's watch this one up here. This is our, these are our community partners in Fiji. So some of the people students stay with, and they are incredible people, as you are about to see. So these are some of the people who are from the local community in Fiji that you get to live with. And they're very musical and talented, which is incredible.
Hola, Verto explorers. Welcome to the South Pacific. We would like to share with you this musical performance put together by our amazing team of Verto program leaders. Enjoy!
Hoorah! Welcome to Fiji!
And remember, this is where you would be staying for your first semester of college, in this village here. I interrupted them. Yeah, that one gets me every time. So again, for your first semester of college, instead of a four-wall classroom, that could be a student's classroom. And I think what better way to start college, in my opinion. So that's a great video. All right, I think I am under time, which is new for me. So if there's any other questions, Kimberly, please feel free to chat it in. If not, I'm happy to end this early and we can all kind of go hang out and relax. I know it's been, I'm assuming, a long day. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. It was great. Thanks, Kimberly. Yeah, I'll send you an email if you scan that thing. If not, that's okay. My email is just josh@vertoeducation.org. Actually, for everybody out there, my email is josh@vertoeducation.org. Super simple. So reach out anytime. But thanks, Kimberly. Yeah, and don't worry, you'll figure it out. Yeah, everything will fall into place. I know it's a stressful time, but I'm old now. It was my 31st birthday yesterday, actually, and I still don't really know what I want to do with my life. So it's okay. Things fall into place and no stress. Maybe we can pull up other stuff. Let's see here. Maybe we can scroll through the Instagram a little bit more. Happy to pull up that QR code again for people at home. So if people are, yep. People are still watching this. That's impressive. And thank you. You can scan this thing. I'll shoot you an email. And again, my email is just josh@vertoeducation.org, VERTO education.org. I'm seeing it's right there. So you got it. Cool. So maybe we can go through some other stuff that I kind of skipped over. Covered all this. What videos can we watch? We have till 4:45, right? Okay. Cool. Yeah, why don't we let's watch this one. This is a video from a student who went to Latin America. She took a 1-second video every single day for an entire semester. So these are like quite literally small snapshots from every single day in Latin America. And I think there's a bunch of animals here too, which is cool. Oh, food looks amazing. Oh, wow. I want to see that again. That was, I never noticed that before. It was like, oops, sorry. I messed it up. All right. One more time. I won't interrupt it, but I saw those like iguanas and that was cool. One second every day. Oh, yeah. Walking to class through the jungle, literally. A lot of really cool street art in the Dominican Republic. Volcano hike. Oh, monkey. Oh, look at that. Peacock. That was cool. Again, getting to class on a boat going down a river in the jungle. I mean, yeah, really incredible stuff. Oh, squirrels. Yeah, 1 second every day, Latin America. So again, depending on what students looking for, really cool options. Awesome. Let me stop sharing. I don't know if there's any more questions. Nope. Cool. Thanks for sticking around, Kimberly. I really appreciate it. But we have like 8 minutes. I mean, do you want to type in as a question, like a little bit about yourself? Like, are you a senior? Where are you viewing in from? Like, yeah, I'd love to learn a little bit about you if that's okay. You don't have to. Oh, very cool. Nice. How's high school been so far? I mean, like, are you guys online? It's such a crazy year. I can't imagine. Talking to a lot of students who are struggling or not struggling with the online learning and all that. I'm struggling personally with it. Being on Zoom all day is very tough for me. I'm much more energized by in-person interaction. So I hope that we can talk in person soon. This is the most interesting way I've been interacting with a student, I think, ever. We're online and it's good, but stressful. Yeah. And it's tough too when like you're kind of like mashing your high school and home world together. Like usually you go to school, do your work there, have your classes there, then you come home and you kind of like hang out with family or friends. It's weird when it's all squashed together like that. So more power to you. Hopefully we can talk about college and ease a little bit of stress for you. But yeah, it's what a year. Anyway, yeah, thanks so much for sticking around. Yeah. Talking to a student through open-ended questions to a video guy. It's good. This is a first for me. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's all I had. Kimberly, you're free to head out. Again, I'll send you an email. We can connect one-on-one, which would be great. And then feel free to shoot me any questions in the meantime. But I'm so sorry, the moderator. I forgot. I think your name's Maria. I forgot. I'm so sorry. I don't know if you want to just cut the recording or what the plan is, but yeah, awesome.
Okay, thank you so much, Josh, and to our attendee as well. Okay, so thank you for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this is just one of the many sessions being hosted, so I'll be sure to sign up for any other sessions on the College2Career firstconnect.org website. And in about a week, this recording will be posted onto the website. So if you would like to review anything that Josh said or any of the other sessions, feel free to come by to the website again in about a week. Thank you.
Thank you. Should I head out?